car owner Richard Childress looks like he is putting all of the blame on Sheldon Creed for the last lap mayhem that occurred between Creed and Austin Hill. Let's first take a look at what happened, and then we'll get to car owner Richard Childress's comments here. So this is from the official NASCAR Xfinity Twitter account here. Looks like we're going to start with a drone shot from above. Let's take a listen, or let's take a watch. Creed's right on his bumper, pushes him up a little bit of the track there, going into, I believe that's 1 and 2. Allgaier's giving Creed the bumper as well. He loses it, hits the wall. Creed gets a good run down into, I believe that's 3 and 4, runs Hill up the track, gets underneath him, continues running him up, and pushes him up. Good short track racing there. They're side by side down the straightaway. Banging doors going into the corner. Creed then gets the position, and then he just seemingly stops there in 3 and 4. Mayhem occurs as Hill gets turned, and then Allgaier is able to slip underneath and take the checkered flag, and everyone else is just wrecking on the front stretch there. But, I mean, still, people are still wrecking here. But that is indeed what happened, and Richard Childress is putting all of the blame on Sheldon Creed. This is from NBC Sports. I believe Dustin Long wrote this, who spoke with Childress after the race. Childress said, "I've had drivers drive for me before, but nobody as stupid as Sheldon Creed. You don't do that as a team player. What else do you want me to tell you?" The article then says, asked if Creed, who will leave the team after the season, would be in the number 2 car in next week's season finale at Phoenix. Childress did not answer before getting in a golf cart and being led away from the track. As for Creed, he was very sportsmanlike, very professional. He said, "For Richard, I just want to thank him for my time here. I've had a really good 2 years, and I've learned a ton. My time has come to move on. I'll forever be thankful for Richard. He was my first Xfinity opportunity out of trucks." I think the big question with what happened during those final laps wasn't the beating and banging that we saw between Sheldon Creed and Austin Hill. I thought that was excellent short track racing, really exciting stuff. I think the big question was, what in the world happened to Sheldon Creed in turn 3 and 4? Why did he seemingly all of a sudden stop, caused Austin Hill to run into the back of him, and then he got spun out by John Hunter Nemechek, who really had nowhere to go, and then that caused all kinds of mayhem. And then at the same time, it was him slowing up allowed Allgaier to get underneath of him and really motor off the corner and beat him down the front stretch. So we did get an answer to that here. He told Dustin Long, let's see here. This is what Creed said. He says, "I just kind of slipped through that oil there, and that was enough for him to get me. I don't know if I just bogged it down too much, but I just didn't have the speed off of turn 4 that I thought I was going to have." So that is indeed what happened. Richard Childress is laying the blame on Sheldon Creed, and Sheldon Creed is saying he got bogged down in some oil and just didn't have the speed coming off 3 and 4 that he thought he would have. It looked like he stopped in 3 and 4 almost, or he brake checked, or I thought he overdrove it, but he's saying he slipped through some oil, and then he just bogged it down too much. So that is his explanation. So I leave it to you. What do you make of Richard Childress's comments? I thought they were a little bit unprofessional. Obviously, heat of the moment, he's probably really upset that neither of his drivers went on to the championship 4 at Phoenix, and Hill ended up in a pretty nasty wreck, and Creed ended up finishing second. So I can understand the frustration, but it might have been best maybe not to give a comment at all. But he did give a comment and was very clearly laying the blame on Sheldon Creed. But what do you think of Childress's comments?